This is the sports betting top picks and plays. This is for Beat the Number. This is the NBA morning edition. My name is Abby. This is for Sunday, March the 9th. We just got a slate of games here in the association. These games are courtesy of oddslogic.com. Again, the latest line moves, over-unders, and the injury report. So the first game we're going to start off with is Denver at OKC. This is a 1 o'clock start, 1:10 start, East Coast time. OKC is a 6.5 point favorite, total 241.5. We now see it going all the way to 240. It's come down to 240. 240 across the board, and it's 7.5. We see one book circa have this number at 8, but it's mainly 7.5s across the board. So we'll look into this game further. Look at the line history to see where the public, who the public is favoring and what the sharps are favoring. So we'll look at this now. That's Denver at OKC. Should pop up at any moment. So as you can see here, it's a bit of resistance already in this game. Meaning some like OKC, others like Denver. So we'll see what the total's saying. Well, same thing with the total. Some like the over, some like the under. So this game has a bit of resistancy. So it's not, there's no definitive side to either the total or the under, or the point spread. No definitive side. It's a bit of resistance, and it's kind of split. It's kind of split either way. So we're going to look into the injury report, check out the injuries to see what's happening. Okay, so now we're going to look at the injury report. This is for Denver and OKC. So we see here, so far for this game, Denver OKC. Right now, you see Chet Holmgren upgraded to available. So Chet Holmgren, with his leg, will be playing today. He's upgraded to available. Next, we see Jalen Williams upgraded to available today against Denver. Isaiah Hartleston knows upgraded to available, will be playing today. So a lot of key players coming back for OKC. Nothing on the Denver side as yet. Let's see if I see anything here. Kason Wallace, knee, questionable to play Sunday, 50-50. I don't see anything. Let's see if I see anything else. I think that's it. Let me see. Yeah, nothing on the Denver side. Yeah, Denver looks like they're healthy bodies out there. But that's the injury report there. So we're going to look at the game now. Look at this matchup right now. That's Denver and OKC. 1 o'clock start. So head to head, they've already played 2 times already. This is the second meeting. A third meeting now. So the first 2 meetings in Denver, 102.87. OKC won. They were a 2-point dog, and they covered and won in that game. And the total was 229, but it was under 229. Second game was November 6th in Denver. Again, Denver was a 7-point favorite. Sorry, OKC was a 7-point favorite in Denver. Denver covered and won 124-122, went over 224.5. So this is the third meeting now. Denver overall right now, 7-3 last 10, 4-6 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. Denver 3-2 last 5 games, 2-3 to the under. So OKC 8-2 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. OKC's won 6 straight games, 6 in a row. Out of the 6 games, they've covered 4 out of the 6 games. And the majority of those wins, or half of those wins, let me see. Yeah, half the wins that they've covered have been on the road, for the most part. And 3-2 to the over, OKC. So OKC 3-2 to the over, and Denver is 2-3 to the under. My take for this game is, I like the first half. OKC in the first half, 4.5. What I've noticed in their home games with OKC when they're at home, they usually cover the first half. They covered the first half against Portland last game. Let's look at that and see. I believe they did. Let me just verify that. It was 45. Yeah, they had covered the first half against Portland, as expected. They didn't cover Houston in the first half. Let me see if they covered Houston in the first half. Houston, no, they didn't. Houston covered them. But overall in general, I just feel that OKC is a first half team, especially now with all the bodies coming back in the lineup. Hartleston and a few others that we mentioned that were injured. Now they're back. They're back for a big game against Denver. I like OKC here to cover the point. I like them here to cover the first half. I think they get off to a strong start, and they cruise from there. I wouldn't talk you off, because right now we're seeing it going to 8. I wouldn't talk you off OKC 7.5. I wouldn't talk you off of that at all. But I'm personally playing the first half. 4.5 OKC for me in the first half. I don't have a no play on the total. The total, I'm just gonna lay off the total. I just like the first half OKC. That's it for that game. The second game, and the first half again is 4.5. So just shop around for the best number for OKC first half if you like the first half. If not, like I say, you can do the full game, 7.5. I wouldn't talk you off of that, but I'm not going to be doing that. Next game, let's see. We're not doing every single game. It'll just be a few games we'll be doing. Utah and Philadelphia. That's the next game we're going to be doing. Utah, Philadelphia. So Utah, as you can see, the opening number here is 7.5. Philadelphia at home. 223 is the opening number. That's the total. Now that has gone up to, it was 225, but now I see a 224 at FanDuel. But I believe it's gone up now. It's gone to 226. So you really got to shop around. Fanatics goes 226. The number is at 6. It's down to 6 from 7.5 Philadelphia to 6. So shop around. Yeah, 225.5, 226. So now we're gonna look at the line history in this game, just to get a better idea where the public's at, where the sharp's at. So the public's all over Utah so far. They like Utah, but nothing on the over under. So we'll look into this game further. That's Utah and Philadelphia. That's yesterday's games. Just ignore that. Philadelphia, Utah. That's later on tonight. So this matchup here, they played once already, back in December, towards the end of the year in Utah. Philadelphia was a 7.5 point favorite. Utah covered. They won 114-111 in Utah. And it went over the 224.5. I mean, it barely got over, but it did get over by a half a point. It got over, but barely got over. So they went over. The last two games, they've gone over the total, Utah and Philadelphia. So look at this matchup now. Utah, 2-8 last 10 games. 6-4 against the spread, 7-3 to the over. So Utah against other opposition. Remember, Utah had gone 4 straight overs, and then they didn't get over in Toronto against the Raptors. Utah's lost 4 in a row. They're 1-4, 4-1 to the over. So no, they're on a 5-game road trip. So this is the 3rd game of a 5-game road trip. Philadelphia, meanwhile, 1-9 last 9 games. They've lost 3 in a row. They're 1-4 last 5 games. 2-8 against the spread, 5-5 to the over/under. And then over/under Philadelphia, they are 3-2 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. The first game got over, but barely. The last 2 meetings have gone over. I know I had bet Utah versus Toronto over. We lost on that one on Friday by about 3 or 4 points. But I'm going to go back to this again. I'm going to go back to... I'm going to take the over in this game. I'm going back to the over. It's 225.5, 226. I like the over in this game. I'm going right back to it. I know it didn't do well against Toronto, but I'm going back to the over. 225.5, 226. I like that play. Definitely going to go back to that. Now, another thing I forgot to check. We forgot to check the injury report. Can't believe I forgot to check that, but I will check that now. I do apologize. So we're going to check the injury report for these teams. That's Utah and Philadelphia. Just for you guys out there to know who's out, who's in, and who's out. For anybody out there wondering. Let's see. So we have on the Jazz side, Walker Kessler ruled out Sunday at Philadelphia, so he's resting. John Collins has back issues, ruled out Sunday at Philadelphia. Lauri Markkanen ruled out Sunday at Philadelphia. Jordan Clarkson ruled out Sunday at Philadelphia. So a lot of guys are sitting out. But even though those guys were out, Utah, they nearly went over the total against Toronto. They put up some points, so I still think they're capable of getting over the number, the 2. I still believe that game with Philadelphia will help them get over the number, the 226, the 225.5. Even though with those guys being out, I still like that. Tyrese Maxey ruled out Sunday versus Utah. Paul George out. So Maxey has back issues. George is out. Seeing other Philadelphia injuries. Embiid, as you know, is out. Eric Gordon out with the wrist. Kyle Lowry out indefinitely. Jared McCain out. Yeah, I still like the over. I like the over in this game. I'm still sticking to the over. I'm going to stick to that. This side is, I have nothing on the side. Just the over. Utah, Philadelphia, that's it. And I feel that the market is, even though those injuries are there on both sides, I still feel the market is heading in the right direction. They're heading towards the over. So I look for a loosey-goosey game. And loosey-goosey game. That's how I see it. Up and down pace. I can see that. Next game for me to look at, Cleveland at Milwaukee. So Milwaukee on a back-to-back at home. They played Orlando yesterday, and now they got at home. Now they got Cleveland. So Cleveland was off yesterday. They had time to rest up for tonight's game. As you can see, Cleveland's favored -8. That's the opening number, 237.5. Now it's gone all the way to 9 across the board, and it's 237.5, 238. So we're going to look into this game now. We'll look at who the public is on and the sharps are on. This is probably most easily the game of the day. NBA game of the day. Then we'll check the injury report after this. Yep, Milwaukee's getting the play so far. That public's on Milwaukee, and they're on the over. So we're going to look at the injury report now for both teams. That's Milwaukee and Cleveland Cavaliers. So let's see. Milwaukee already, you see Gary Trent is questionable to play Sunday. Versus Cleveland. Pat Connaughton questionable as well. So Gary Trent a knee issue. Pat Connaughton has a calf issue. Both guys are questionable 50-50. So we'll keep looking on the Milwaukee Cleveland side to see if there's anything out, anybody else out. Not seeing anything here for this game. Bobby Portis is out suspension, so he's still out. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything here. Looked like that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all for the injury report for that game, Cleveland Milwaukee. It looks like Cavaliers have a healthy squad. So let's look here. We'll look at this one here. So that's Cleveland Milwaukee. That's the game of the day, NBA game of the day. Let's see. Cleveland Milwaukee. So they've already played 3 times already. This is the 4th and final meeting. So the first meeting in Milwaukee 2-point favorites on the road. Cleveland covered and won, 114-113, under 230. Next 2 meetings in Cleveland. November 2nd was the first one. Second one was November 4th. In Cleveland, 8.5-point favorites. Milwaukee covered and won, 116-114. It was over 228.5. Third meeting a month later, December 20th, in Cleveland. Cavaliers 8.5-point favorites. Cleveland won, 124-101, over 221. So overall, Cleveland 10-0 last 10 games. Cleveland's won 10 straight games. They've won 10 straight. They've covered about 6 out of the 10 games they've covered. And mainly they've been doing it at home. But they have covered as a favorite on the road. 2 of the last four tries as a favorite. Milwaukee, 8-2 last 10, 7-2-1 against the spread, 5-5 to the over-under. Milwaukee had won 4 straight, but that ended in Orlando. I'm sorry. Yeah, that ended in Orlando, that's right. So right now they're 4-1 last 5 games. 4-1 last 5, and 4-1 to the over. 4-1 to the over, Milwaukee. Cleveland 3-2 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. The last 2 meetings have gone over. Cleveland 9.5. Yeah, I like the over in this game. I'm going to take the over. Over 230. Let's get the right number here. 237.5 going to 238. Yeah, I like the over in this game. That definite over for me. The next game I'm looking at here, San Antonio, Minnesota. San Antonio, Minnesota. As you can see, Minnesota's a 10.5-point favorite. Total 232.5. It's gone up to now 233. Right now, 233 is in some places. And we're seeing minus 11 for Minnesota. So look into this game further. Look at the line history in this game. Minnesota getting all the public love, and the under is getting some steam. Let's see. The under's getting play. So look into this further. See that? So it's going under. Public is under and Minnesota. So we'll look into this game further. I'll look at the injury report and see what's going on for both sides. That's Minnesota, San Antonio. I believe San Antonio might have a healthy squad. Actually, but besides Wemby, they might be overall healthy. But let me double check. It's Milwaukee and I'm sorry, that's Minnesota and San Antonio. Minnesota, let's see. Rudy Gobert's questionable, so he's 50-50 with the back issue. Minnesota, San Antonio. So Wembanyama is the only one for San Antonio, as you know, out for the season. Victor Wembanyama. That's it. Yeah, the Spurs are a healthy bunch. That's it. Yeah, nothing else. Pretty much in general, both teams are healthy. So I mean, yeah, they both teams have a healthy squad, as I suspected. So we're gonna look at this game here. That's San Antonio, Minnesota. So this is the fourth and final meeting. They've played 3 times already. San Antonio. First game is November 2nd in San Antonio. Minnesota's a 4-point favorite. San Antonio covered, won 113-103. Went over the 214.5 mark. Second game, December 15th in San Antonio. Minnesota's a 4.5-point favorite. Minnesota won. 106.92 and covered, but it went under the total, under 214.5. Third meeting was in Minnesota. And this one here, Minnesota's a 6-point favorite. San Antonio covered and won. And San Antonio covered and Minnesota won, 112-110, and was over 217. So this is a fourth and final meeting. San Antonio right now 3-7 last 10, 3-7 against the spread, 4-5-1 to the under. San Antonio, they're flip-flopping wins and losses. They are 2-3 last 5, 4-1 to the over. San Antonio. Minnesota 6-4 last 10, 6-4 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. Minnesota's won 4 straight games. They have covered 3 out of 4 games. So Minnesota right now, they're 3-2 to the over. Minnesota 3-2 to the over. San Antonio is 4-1 to the over. So both teams are playing to the over. Let's see here. Let's look at San Antonio. Yeah, they haven't really been covering on the road. That's a big concern. They have not covered on the road. I mean, they only covered at Memphis. That was it. That was +5. After that, they haven't really been covering as a dog. Let's see something here in San Antonio. Yeah, don't... Let me look at this. Let me look at the line here again. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. The only way to look in this game is the over. Over 232.5, 233. I gotta look at the over here. So far, the season series, they've gone over two out of the 3 games. They've gone over 2 out of the 3 meetings between San Antonio and Minnesota. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take the over, especially in this range. I like the over here. San Antonio and the over. Minnesota playing to the over as well. So yeah, I like the over here, no doubt. I like the over. Over 233, 232.5, 233. That's my play for that game. Next game we're gonna look at Detroit Pistons at Portland. So Detroit, another team that's on a back-to-back. They're flying in from the Bay Area, Golden State, flying into the Pacific Northwest in Portland. So it's a back-to-back for them. Portland had some rest. They're not playing. They are a 2.5-point underdog, Portland. So they're a home dog, Portland. Pistons 2.5-point favorites. Totals 231.5. We look here, and the number's gone to 3. Detroit's going to 3. We see 3s on the board. And it's gone to the total's gone to 232. We're at 232 now, and it's gone to 3. So look at the Detroit's getting all the love. Yep. Public's all over the Pistons. Nothing on the total. We're going to look at the injury report here as well for this game. So Pistons in Portland, we'll look at this. Take a look at this now. Detroit and Portland. Let's see. Let's see. So far, nothing yet. Let's see. DeAndre Ayton's out indefinitely. That's one guy out so far. He's out with the leg injury. Jaden Ivey's out indefinitely with a leg issue. Matisse Thybulle, injury management, out indefinitely. So those are the injuries for that team. I do have a side in this game, so look into this further. Let's see. So definitely look into this game. All right, so this is the first meeting. This is the second meeting, excuse me. First meeting was January the 6th in Detroit. Detroit was a 6.5-point favorite. Portland covered and won the game 119 to 115. It was over 224. This is the second meeting now. Detroit 7-3 last 10 games, 7-2 against the spread, 5-4-1 to the over. Detroit on a 4-game road trip. They're 1-2 on the road trip. They're hoping to go 2-2 with a win tonight to even up these road series, or even up their road trip 2-2. Detroit 2-3 last 5 games. Detroit 3-2 to the over last 5. Portland 5-5 last 10, 5-5 against the spread, 6-4 to the over. So Portland's coming off an exhausting 7-game road trip. So they have lost 2 in a row, Portland. 4-3 last 7. 2-3 last 5 games. And 3-2 to the over. That's Portland. So for me, as you know, I don't like betting teams that are coming off a road trip. I don't like to bet teams the first home game off a long road trip. I don't like to bet on those teams. Yeah, I don't like that at all. Then they have to go back and play Golden State. They lost to Golden State earlier. Yeah, the only way I can play this game, I don't like the total. I like the Pistons here. Pistons on the money line. I know Detroit played last night in Golden State. I know they played. Yeah, they played. They played last night. They played pretty hard. They played a hard game, and they covered the points. They covered they covered as a dog. But I like Detroit on the money line. I like them here. They're a young team. They're not. It's not like an old veteran team that has that can't manage a back-to-back situation or scenario. I think Pistons are a young team. I don't believe the back-to-back is going to affect Detroit, and the market is showing that because now the game's gone from 2.5 up to 3. So the public's on Detroit, and I agree with the public. I'm going to take the Pistons on the money line to win this game, money line and to win out. So the next and final game I like, I'm gonna be on Sacramento at the Clippers. So Sacramento at the Clippers. This one here. Open up at 5. 5. That's 5. The number is 5. That's the opening number. Yeah, the opening number is 5. Total is 224.5. So there's been a significant drop off from the total, from 224 all the way down to 220 across the majority of books. Although I do see a 222 at Superbook, it's primarily come down. The consensus is 220, and then the number has gone to 6. The totals dropped down, and then the number's at 6, from 5 to 6 on the spread. So we'll look into this game further. This is the last game on the board. Sacramento's getting all the love. They're the public darlings. The public likes Sacramento, and they like the under. An overwhelmingly support for the under in this game, and you can see why, because the number has dropped down. So you can see why the public's all over the under. We're going to look at the injury report for this game as well and see what's going on for both teams. That's Sacramento and the Clippers. So look at this game here. See what we see. Malik Monk. There's the first guy that comes out. Ruled out Sunday with an ankle issue. Ben Simmons. So you can see there. Ben Simmons ruled out Sunday. He's out. Let's see. Sacramento Clippers. Sacramento. Okay, Domantas Sabonis, hamstring out indefinitely, so he's been up for a while. Norman Powell's out indefinitely, hamstring issue. Let's see if I see anything else. Looks like that's it. Nothing else coming up here. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else. So now we're going to take a look at the. We will take a look at the game itself. Look at the game itself to see what's happening with the head-to-head. Right, since it's Sacramento and Clippers, we'll look at this one. Look at this matchup. They have played 2 times so far. This is the third meeting. First game was in Sacramento. Clippers were a 6.5-point underdog on the road. Clippers won the game 107-98. It stayed under. Second game, November 22nd in LA. Sacramento 4-point favorite. Once again, the Clippers covered, and they've won 104-88, and it was under 217. So the past 2 meetings have gone under. Overall, the past 5 meetings have gone under between these two teams. Sacramento, meanwhile, 7-3 last 10, 7-2-1 against the spread, 4-6 to the under. Sacramento, 4-1 last 5 games, and they are 1-4 to the under. That's Sacramento. Clippers, 4-6 overall last 10, 2-8 against the spread, 5-5 over under. So Clippers have won 2 straight. They're 2-3 last 5, and 2-3 to the under. So Clippers playing to the under, Sacramento playing to the under at 1-4 to the under. So for what I'm seeing here, everything is correlated to the under in this game. Everything is connected to the under. Yeah, it's connected to the unders. That's why the line's dropped a bit here. And the public loves the under, and I agree with the public. I see why they like the under here. Everything connects to the under. I agree with the public. I like the under myself, and I like the Clippers. I like the Clippers to cover the 6. I'll take the Clippers -6. I like the Clippers here. When it's 6.5, it's a stay away. When it's 6, I like the Clippers. I like what they're doing here. I like them here in this spot. Clippers, like I said, they won 2 straight. They're starting to play better now. Yeah, I like what the Clippers are doing. Beat up the Knicks and went under the total. So they're playing defense, and I know Jalen Brunson wasn't there, but still they're showing signs. I like what they're doing. And I think that carries over to this game against Sacramento. Under, and I like them to cover the -6. I like the Clippers here, -6. All right, so that does it for the NBA Morning Edition. Thank you for joining me. My name is Abby. Again, whether you feed or follow these picks, it's up to you. I just look at the games and make my assessment and choose what I like and what I see. I still hope you cash your tickets. Hope you hit some big winners. Hit some big winners, and have a good Sunday. Again, hit the like and subscribe button for more picks and plays, for the totals, the point spreads, money lines. Already, we already gave you a money line play already. So again, come back for some more of those plays and some totals and spreads. Again, stay true to yourself, stay blessed, believe in yourself. Good luck to everybody out there. Help you hit some winners for the NBA card today. And don't forget to join me. The NBA player props. You want some player props, team totals? We got you locked and covered here. Later on this morning, we'll pass on some information for you guys so you can take advantage. Until then, peace, take care.